Okay, you're connecting your audio and you're connecting your audio so now you can hear me. And if you unmute yourself, I see a little microphone with a little red slash. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Awesome. You look beautiful. I love the shirt and your hair.
Thank you. I got all dolled up for our little meeting today. I'm so happy. Okay, so I get this email from you. You know, I've been volunteering a long time, 22 years now. And what makes it all worth it are emails like this one. I get up in the morning, I click my download of email. There's a complaint here, a complaint there. Do this, do that. I need this, I need that. And then I get one. Dear coach, great GOGI greetings to you and our GOGI family. Things have been going amazingly well. I've got an official, permanent GOGI group every Monday morning. Yesterday during our group, I used one of my favorite GOGI meeting activities, I see you as. And this goes on and on. Again, coach, you are amazing. Thank you. And I cherish you very much. And I cherish you, and I'm so proud of you. But it's emails like this that make all my volunteerism worthwhile, because sometimes I see people's potential, but they don't. Yeah. In the case of you, I saw your potential, but you saw it also.
Absolutely. It's just been a remarkable journey. If you would have asked me in the beginning to imagine what it's going to be like, I would have been so far off the mark. I would have sold it so short. Life is wonderful. Yes, life is wonderful. I get to be of service to others. I'm always available, but the best part is I'm an example. I'm an example that if I can do it, you can do it too.
So I awesome. Love hearing that so much. What do you mean, like, where was the point where you thought, oh, I'm going to get out, I'm going to be free, it's going to be great, but then you get out and you're free and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I undersold this. What's the difference between sitting in a cell or struggling with addiction and wanting things to be and hoping they're going and knowing they probably are going to be better, but not realizing just how awesome it is? What's that gap and what does it feel like?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, I wasn't sure if it was going to be better. I wasn't sure because I hadn't experienced life as I do now. So I just knew I didn't want what I was continually getting. And what I was continually getting was a direct result of my poor decisions, but also of my lack of knowledge. Like I've shared before, my epiphany came when I found studying GOGI. I was a few workbooks into studying at SADF Echo Yard there. And Coach Haroon was one day when I went in his office and he goes, "You know about GOGI?" And I go, "I know a couple of the tools, but no, I really don't." "Oh man, you need GOGI. GOGI's wonderful. GOGI's powerful." And I still look up to Coach Haroon, and Imam Haroon was like, "Here, start doing this." And I started reading Teach Me How to GOGI was the first book I started reading.
You know what's so amazing is Imam Haroon is a chaplain inside prisons. And his job was to care for the Muslim population. However, GOGI worked so well, not only for his people he cared for, but for all people, that he ended up just spreading GOGI far and wide, which is testament to the fact that GOGI is for everyone. It doesn't matter what religion or color. He's got very dark skin and fuzzy hair, but it didn't matter. You guys were brothers in this journey. That's what amazes me. What did you think when this imam who's sitting there and he's holding his meetings for his people that come to his weekly prayers and things like that? What did you think? Did you think, is he trying to convert me, or what were your thoughts?
No, at first I thought he was completely genuine. I thought this person was worldly with his experiences and I was so curious of what, because I'm a sociology major, so I was so curious, like, what did you go through? What influenced what you were going through? What caused this or that to happen? That was the initial, but I felt so welcomed with you. He'd always tell me, stop by after work. And I would, on the way by after my vocational training, I would stop in there, and we'd always hold a little meeting in his office, but always other Muslim brothers would come in, and it didn't matter that I was not Muslim. All that mattered was Harun would say, this is a good guy, listen to him. And he just loved my message. And it originally started, he sat in as an extra staff member to sit in on an Al-Anon group that I was just a member of. And when I spoke, he pulled me aside after class and said, man, you have a message. You're going to touch many hearts. And I believed that too. I could feel that. And so I always knew that he was genuine, and I looked up to him. So anything he suggested, absolutely, I'm in. And that's really, originally my life changed when I decided to get clean and sober. I'm sober 7 years this March.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is wonderful.
And then when I started, so I was already receptive. I was a couple years sober. And so I had pretty much cleared out all of the funk in your head. And I was thirsty. I was thirsty for knowledge. And I believe God is my higher power. And I believe God had a pass and has a pass for me. And I was attuned to the fact that he tried to get my attention 3 times in 2015. I should have died 3 times. Once I overdosed. They brought me back with Narcan. The second time I was tased out of a 3-story window by Bakersfield PD. And I got 64 fractures and moderate brain damage out of that. And then 3 months later, I got in a high-speed police chase, and I crashed at over 100 miles an hour. So 2 hours in the jaws of life to cut me out of my vehicle, and then a life flight to the trauma center. And here I am. So it seemed like each time my higher power was turning up to get my attention notice, until finally I was like, you know, there's something bigger, and there's something meant for me. And I believe that's my life in the service of others.
I love hearing that. And you are an official coach. So you are a certified GOGI community coach. Can you talk to me about why you decided to go down that road as getting that certification? And what does it mean to you today to be an official certified GOGI coach?
I didn't really decide to be a coach initially. I just kept doing the workbooks. I loved the workbooks. At the time, I think my higher power just put all of the ingredients in the right place, because we were on COVID lockdown most of the time. So I had a lot of time on my hands in a 2-man cell, and I had a great cellie. And I would practice the GOGI tools. Initially, I was very impulsive. I was very reactive. So belly breathing, that was one of my first ones that were so effective. And just a side note, that's one of the first tools I teach to my clients is belly breathing, because I can sit right there, sit up straight, put your shoulders back, put one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. Now watch me. As I breathe in, I push my stomach out. And when I exhale, I pull my stomach in. And see, my chest doesn't move. I breathe best when my belly moves. And then I have them do it twice. And afterwards, I go around the room and I say, okay, what did you feel? Oh, I feel a little bit calmer. I feel a little more relaxed. I feel a little bit back in my presence, in my space. I feel a little grounded. These are all the responses I get. And I go, exactly. And I go, the reason I showed you this tool is because you can see the immediate benefits. These tools work. And look, this past week was positive words. So then we got into the positive word meeting. And these are the newer clients that didn't know anything of GOGI. And I'm like, this is how effective they are. These tools go with anything that you're doing positive in your life. They complement, they work together, and they help give you power to keep making those choices for yourself.
I love that so much. That is just so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Now, you did say when we were talking a little bit earlier, you said, Coach Taylor, send me some more bookmarks. You're actually giving your clients some of our little handouts and bookmarks and things like that?
Yes, because the bookmarks have all the tools and the tool groups, but they also have the calendar on there, or the reason why we use the calendar, and a brief explanation, but it's something small the clients can take with them. And then I have handouts. I was provided by GOGI the free handouts. So I print those PDFs and I give them to them. I go, look, this isn't homework. This is for you to work on at your leisure as you want to. And all you need to do is finish it, fill in all the lines, mail it into GOGI, or send GOGI an email and say, hey, I was working with Coach Singer. I love it. I need more. And I know it will ignite that within other individuals that are genuinely working on their path. And even if they're not quite ready, it'll help give them that extra nudge to pursue a complete life that they couldn't imagine how beautiful and rewarding it would be.
So when you're sitting with your circle groups, tell me, can you see their experience? Can you see their struggles, their hopes? Do you see in them what you once were? Are you able to kind of empathize with their journey? What's the experience of sitting there knowing how awesome they can be and trying to get them to that point? What's that like?
Well, there's rewards and challenges along with it.
Okay.
The rewards are when you really see it. The challenges are to remind yourself some people aren't quite ready, and maybe I can just plant that little seed that they will hear, and then maybe later on they'll hear it again, and that maybe will be their time. I believe that when everybody's ready, when their calling is there, I believe that then they will be more receptive. So I have to keep in mind to not personalize other people's journeys. And then I quickly remind them, because I've had I can't speak too much because of HIPAA, but I've had a few instances where the first tool I shared was claim responsibility. Are you proud of who you are today? And then the next tool, I'm like, look, let me tell you the tool reality check. 10 steps forward, 2 steps back are still 8 steps forward. So let's focus on the 8 steps. Of course, let's acknowledge the 2 steps and let's put a couple plans in so that we don't repeat the 2 steps backwards. But let's focus in on the 8 steps forward and let's get moving. Let's put one foot in front of the other. And so the activity I see you as, I first experienced it in prison, and I had a bunch of other incarcerated people around me, and we were all speaking positive. It was a GOGI leadership group at Valley State, and we all stood up. And I have a question of which is more rewarding, hearing what people actually see you as than what you think people see you as, or being able to share with someone else the positiveness that you see with them. I think it's the latter. It's the latter.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, because when we see somebody as they truly are, how we know them to be, oftentimes they don't realize it. They're surprised. Well, you're getting to do that every day now with your clients.
So they're blushing and they look a little shy. And then at the end of the group, we of course recite the GOGI pledge. Made my commitment to the study of GOGI, grant us the joy of giving and receiving, so our inner freedom can be of maximum service to those we love and infinite others. And then afterwards, they're like, man, that's the best group I've had. I love this group. I love GOGI. And I would always say, so do I. And so I spoke with Coach Johnny, and he said, when I practice that exercise, that activity, I have someone that can write it down, and then we give them to the other people. So what I did, because of time restraints, I had one client write down what they were going to say and explain. I see you as ... and then the word, or sometimes 2 words, positive words, and hand it to the client and explain. So the client stood up. The other client said, hey, I see you as motivating, because you're always here, and they gave the reason, a brief description why, and handed them the paper, small slip of paper. So at the end of the group, I said, everybody, hang on to those slips of paper, put it somewhere safe. And anytime you have a question, look at that and remind yourself how we see you. And I had teary eyes.
Of
Yeah, I had teary
course.
eyes. I
I'm
was
having,
teary-eyed.
I'm teary-eyed right now. That's too
Absolutely.
beautiful. I mean, you're talking about individuals who've been told they're stupid, you idiot, how dare you, you're a disgrace. These individuals have suffered so greatly. Of course, we're not diminishing the harm they've caused others, but they have never been told that good part of them. And once we inspire people to hang on to that which is good about them, they'll do more good. So I think what
Or,
you're doing, yeah, go ahead.
or the theory of the monkey mind.
What
So
do you
when
mean?
the theory of the monkey mind is the internal critic inside our head. So the internal conversation. So whenever I go like this is what's going on inside. You're not good enough. You're just gonna fail again. Oh, you're just gonna mess this up. That's the internal conversation. And just imagine how powerful when it's in between your ears. And then I'm able to explain that no, we get to control, boss of my brain, we get to work from the smart part, not the emotional part or the old habit part. And we get to decide. And we get to tell the monkey mind, absolutely not. You're incorrect. I am a good person and I am going to be better and I am a benefit to those around and those that are important.
I love that. Beautiful. So you're working full time now and you're really all in now.
Absolutely.
I love that smile.
You say working up full time, but I only have to disagree, Coach Taylor. I don't work a day. I cannot believe I get paid as good as I do to do what I do. It is a gift from God for sure.
So, and you said you never could have imagined it being this good. So let's talk for a moment to those individuals who are in an 8-foot cell. Addiction, they were probably born out of the womb with some addiction to something because their mom was addicted. Early on, they saw aunts and uncles and they started using early. I mean, they have a lifetime of addiction and that struggle or criminal decisions, silly things. And they're watching this and they're saying, well, that's for him, but it's not for me. What can you tell that individual who has had that lifelong struggle?
I first off, as we just talked about, I say watch the monkey mind because it is for you. Uh, I was in the depths of my addiction. I'm a recovering heroin addict. I'm an alcoholic, and I have, except for the newer drugs, I've done every drug, and to excess. Uh, and I was a criminal. I had criminal thinking. I had criminal behavior. I was a thug. Uh, I grew up in the poverty, in the hood. So I always had challenges because of the color of my skin. So I can relate to some other people's challenges that when they go through, whether it's your sexual identity or it's where you were born, or I believe these are all things that we cannot control. And so I always have judged people on what they can control. And that's what I think is most important. And to give other people's opportunities, because I was given an opportunity, continuous opportunities. And so with that, I am so grateful that I feel not an obligation per se. I feel a drive and a desire to help others. I don't feel like I have to. I want to. And speaking to those that are heavy in addiction, a good friend of mine gave me a saying, and he told me, he said, when you're an addict, you know the difference between a need and a gotta have. And I gotta have this life. I gotta have the direction I am going. I gotta have being able to help people. And I gotta have GOGI to share with others, because also that's my small little part to put a little bit of change in the world, even if it doesn't go a long ways, just the small things. I don't know if you remembered, probably 4 years ago, you gave me a challenge and you said, oh, you're all GOGI. And I was like, yes, I am. And we were back and forth a little. I believe they were in letters. And you said, well, I challenge you to do 5 things each day
Oh,
for
yes.
somebody else, and don't ask for anything or accept anything. And if you can, don't even let them know that you did it. And I
Beautiful.
said, okay, absolutely. So each day I did that. And for a week, I sent you another letter. All right, Coach Taylor, no problem. I did it. I held a door. I did this. I did that. Small things. Um, and you said, oh, that's great, Mr. Singer. But now I want you to do it for 5 people you don't care for. And I
That's
was
not
like,
so easy.
wow, it wasn't. But what the bridge it built, and they weren't bad people, but some people, sometimes personality or experiences just kind of don't gel. But when I did things for them, it completely eliminated that, and they were like coming right back around. Ideally, it was because there was a guy a couple cells down, and we were on lockdown. I was a building porter, so I was able to take the JPay tablets to the little kiosk and download letters or pictures. And so he knocked on the door when I was sweeping. He said, "Hey, can you take my tablet and plug it in?" Sure. That was my GOGI tool, no questions asked. And sure. And so I went and plugged it in and I brought it back to him. And he goes, "Hey, thanks." And he tried to slide a candy bar under the. I said, "No, thank you. Absolutely not." "Oh, no, 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 no." I said, "Please, I enjoyed doing that for you." And he goes, "I need to ask you one more thing." And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Would you read the message to me?" I go, "Read the message?"
Wow.
He goes, "Yeah, I can't read." I said, "Absolutely." So I leaned on the side of the cell door right there, and I read the message to him. And I said, "So what do you want to say back?" And so he told me what he said, and I wrote the message verbatim as he said. And then I completely forgot about what he said. That was his thing to there. I was just a vessel at the time. And it really built a bond. And he was my 2 cells down neighbor. And before we brief greetings, but that was the extent of it, just to be respectful and um, pretty powerful.
Really awesome. Living a life of service. I mean, that is totally the ultimate freedom, is to really, every time your feet get off that bed and they hit the ground, the world's a better place because you're on it.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't look as challenges as negative anymore. I look as challenges as opportunities to grow, opportunities to learn, and sometimes opportunities to make more social connections it's positive.
So tell me this, what does life look like for you the next 5 years? I mean, you're on a very good train track. The train's solid. It's motoring ahead. What's on the horizon for you?
My GOGI house.
I knew it. I knew it.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. And what would that look like for those individuals who really would like to know, what is a GOGI house? Why are they both so happy? What is a GOGI house about? What does it do? What's it like living in a GOGI house?
I just want the opportunity for GOGI students at whatever level they are, when I see a little bit of commitment from them, because there's going to be limited space in the house. I'm not going to have a giant motel, so it's going to be limited space. And I think that dedicated GOGI students should have the opportunity to be able to detach from society, or maybe their environments that are challenging, or re-entering into society, which is very challenging. I just went through it. I'm 109 days out right now, and help them with the challenges I had. Luckily, I had you, I had GOGI, I had a good support network, but a lot of people outside of GOGI were unsure of the challenges I was going through, because in that cell, you can imagine what life is going to be like, but you never see even the small things, like everything is on your bank card or your prepaid credit card, and everything is signed up. So you have to have all of these things, or you will not be able to access a lot of things that are out in society now. And Smartphones. We didn't, luckily, when I left Valley State, we had the tablets, and I had the tablets at SATF for a few years. So I had a little bit of the technology, but anybody that's done 10, 15 years, you still do not have a clue. Now, I took the CRT classes, vocation training, the computer related technology. And when I got to work where I work now, everything is on the computers. Everything is shared, all your calendars, everything, even down to one of the counselors there has Dragon Speak program. So he puts it on and he speaks and it types it out. But it's different. Even the CRT in prison, how it's so limited to internet access and knowing how to upload this or download that, or this file won't transfer this way and you have to convert it. They don't teach us any of that because they don't allow us. And then the Windows, I think I was at a couple of years, so it was probably a year, 2020, 2021. We had like Windows 98. I mean, that is so far out of what it is.
Right.
It helps for Word and Excel so you can understand creating documents, but other than that, it doesn't convert to what the technology is now. So that's one of the challenges. So sorry to rabbit trail a little there, but the GOGI house, this will give people the opportunity to be able to sever the outside world, what the negative part of it, for a small moment, so they have the opportunity to work on themselves.
Beautiful.
Again, I want a kitchen in there so we could teach some of the basic cooking skills and they can participate and cook for each other at different nights. I would like a classroom, even a modified 2-car garage where there'll be a classroom, a big screen so we can GOGI Zoom together. And all aspects of life so that the GOGI house will be self-sufficient. And I'm hoping to still have it a little bit detached from suburbia so that you have a little bit more of the animal life, fruit, trees, things like that, to help people learn self-subsistence. So maybe a garden, maybe picking some vegetables, things that could help supplement their income or their troubles or hardships that they have. But I don't think that would really be necessary, because if you're living the GOGI way, the world will unfold and the world is your oyster. You have every opportunity because we attract people of positive, like the 3 Ps say, like all of our readings say, look at the world positive and you'll see the positive and you'll attract positive people. Give them a smile. Hey, how you doing? And see what you get. See the reciprocating effect of that. It's amazing.
Well, I'm so proud of you, and I like your vision. I want to be there on opening day of that GOGI house. I want to make sure you have enough GOGI books in all the bookshelves and in every bedroom. I'd love to help support that. So when that comes to fruition, I'm going to, even if I have to put on a backpack and walk to wherever you are, I want to be there. I want to see that.
I'd come and get you first, Coach D. Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm going to be posting to you some of the bookmarks. Also, I don't have it here, but I have it somewhere. The little GOGI wristbands. Do you want me to send you some of those for some of your, okay, for some of those students that you really think are doing great? I'd love to have them have those wristbands on.
That's amazing you said that, Coach Taylor, because one of the clients yesterday, I gave my bomb bracelet to. She was so participating. She was getting ready to what we call coin out, complete the program. And I was like, here, remind yourself, you are the bomb. You are boss of my brain, and you get the opportunity to decide.
Okay.
The only time that other people get to decide or make us do anything is when we give them the power, when we hand that over to them. Until then, absolutely not. Everything, it's us. We are the boss of our brains.
Well, before the end of the day, I'm going to stuff a little envelope with all sorts of GOGI goodies for you to hand out, and we'll get that sent out to you.
That's great, because you gave me last time on the swag bag. You gave me the GOGI pins. And so every day at work, I've got my GOGI pin in.
I love that.
Until yesterday, I had my bomb bracelet on.
I'll send you more. I'm so proud of you. I hope you come back on to have more conversations. Maybe next time we could talk about what you perceive to be the greatest struggles of your clients and how you can mitigate their anxiety or fear, how you strengthen them in the group setting or in your conversations. Because I know a lot of people, especially those who are dealing with addictions or those impulses or the waves of, oh my God, I gotta have this. The waves will pass. And I know you are skilled enough to kind of share some of those insights. So will you come back on and talk to me about some of those struggles that they feel and how you help them overcome it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, I'm going to sign off so I can go pack an envelope with a bunch more GOGI swag for you. I really, really so appreciate all your time and energy, and keep sending those emails like this one, because man, in a sea of complaining emails, this was the bright light of my day.
Now you're getting my eyes all teary. It's the least I can do, Coach Taylor, because those words are genuine. You earned those words. And again, I wouldn't be where I am today without my 12 tools for positive decision making. I was able to rewire my brain. I was able to learn new actions. After my 5-second light switch and I started replacing them, those became my permanent actions. And again, I wouldn't be who I was today without GOGI.
Well, I'm happy you dove into the swimming pool with us, and we're all just bathing there, sitting on some rafts and just enjoying the ride.
Absolutely.
I love you, dear. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm happy you're part of our team, and I'm just so grateful you're helping others.
Thank you, Coach Taylor. I love you too. And to everybody else, the opportunities are there. Sometimes we need to get out of our own way and try something different. Because when you're tired of getting what you've been getting, stop doing what you've been doing. Try something new. GOGI for life.
Totally, GOGI for life. All right, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.